Major funding for KPBS Evening Edition has been made possible in part by Bill Howe Family of Companies, providing San Diego with plumbing, heating, air, restoration, and flood services for over 45 years. Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE or visit BillHowe.com. And by the Conrad Prebys Foundation, Darlene Marcos Shiley, and by the following. And by viewers like you. Thank you.
A man is under arrest today, charged with intentionally setting the Sorrento fire. Thank you for joining us. I'm Maya Trabulsi. The fire started yesterday in the Los Penasquitos Canyon Preserve, forcing evacuations and road closures. It burned more than 130 acres and is 25% contained as of this afternoon. KPBS North County reporter Alexander Nguyen has more on the arrest.
As firefighters continue to put out hotspots today, police announced they have arrested 30-year-old Brandon James Glasgow. People reportedly saw Glasgow walking out of the creek near where the fire started. He is booked in the central jail on one count of arson. Glasgow is due in court on Wednesday.
It's sad to think that people are just heartless to do that.
Judy Turnbull and her friend Christina Quant were dropping off supplies for the firefighters to thank them. They were both surprised that authorities suspected arson was the cause of the fire.
The fact that somebody would either do that unthinkingly or purposefully is really disappointing.
The fire got dangerously close to homes, forcing the evacuations of dozens of people.
I saw like this big plume of smoke over our house.
Leanne Kim's house was under an evacuation warning, but the flames were too close for comfort.
I noticed how close it was to this house on the corner, and we're right across the street. And so my husband and I looked at each other. I said, I think it's time for us to get out of here.
It's really scary because this is the second time.
Harry Ding's home overlooks the canyon. He says the flames were moving fast despite firefighters' efforts.
They go around, coming back, and got more fire. Go around and coming back and got more fire. And they come back about 10 or 15 times.
Fire crews gained control around 7 p.m. yesterday. Judy and Christina are thankful.
2 fires in 2 months is too much.
Fire crews tell me they're going to be out here for the next 3 days or so to mop up any hot spots and to make sure the fire is out. In Mira Mesa, Alexander Nguyen, KPBS News.
Meanwhile, another brush fire is threatening structures and forcing evacuations in Campo. The fire is burning off Church Road east of Lake Morena and about a mile south of Interstate 8. It started around 2:30 this afternoon and then quickly has grown to more than 130 acres. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Those displaced by the fire can find shelter at Golden Acorn Casino. There is also an active smoke advisory for Live Oak Springs Boulevard, Manzanita, and McCain Valley communities.
Well, we've been on a slight temperature roller coaster the last couple of weeks as that high pressure shifts east, it shifts west. Our temperatures have been rising and falling, but not by a lot, especially our lows. Overnight, I mean, we've stayed in the upper 60s, low 70s for the last week or so, and tonight is no difference. Now, we do have those low clouds thanks to that marine layer. We will be seeing some changes from that and our temperatures as we head through the rest of the week, so I'll break down what to expect coming up.
The County Board of Supervisors is expected to decide tomorrow whether federal immigration authorities can continue using 2 county firing ranges. KPBS Public Matters reporter Kevin Trevelyan has the story.
ICE and Customs and Border Protection agents have for several years been training at a county-owned gun range in Otay Mesa. ICE agents have also been using a county-leased facility at Miramar Air Base.
Aquino! Aquino!
But Board of Supervisors Chair Tara Lawson-Remer said during a press conference they're no longer welcome.
Our community is a home, not a target. If the Trump administration wants to spend billions on this flawed deportation agenda, they can use their own federal resources to carry it out.
ICE data shows agents removed more than 16,000 people in San Diego County between January 2025 and April 1st of this year. The vast majority of immigrants arrested locally last year did not have criminal records, according to a separate KPBS analysis. Lawson Reamer said ICE's tactics and emphasis on mass deportations undermine trust in local government.
When people are afraid to report crimes or ask the government for help, all of us are less safe.
On Tuesday, supervisors will vote on whether to end the license agreements allowing federal authorities to use the county gun ranges. The Customs and Border Protection Commissioner told the Union Tribune in a statement that ending the agreements would lead to staffing reductions and longer wait times at border crossings and the San Diego airport. Supervisor Paloma Aguirre dismissed that concern.
Longer lines at San Isidro would not be a consequence of this board's actions. They would be a choice made by the Trump administration and paid for by us here in San Diego.
Both ICE and Customs and Border Protection fall under the Department of Homeland Security, which did not respond to a request for comment on the gun range proposal. Kevin Trevelyan, KPBS News.
The race for California's next governor came to Chula Vista over the weekend. Republican candidate Steve Hilton hosted a town hall at Novo Brewing and shared his vision in front of a packed room on Saturday afternoon.
Here's my plan. What does this sound like to you? A working class tax cut in California. Your first 150 grand tax-free.
Lieutenant Governor candidate Gloria Romero also spoke at the event. Their populist message aims to win over working-class voters in the state, a key demographic in President Donald Trump's 2024 victory. As the Padres take on the New York Mets tonight, they do so at the start of a new era. This morning, Major League Baseball owners unanimously approved the team's sale. The move formally transfers ownership to a group led by Kwanzaa Jones and Jose Feliciano. Feliciano is the co-founder of Clear Lake Capital, a private equity firm. He is now the designated control person for the Padres organization. The sale price of $3.9 billion is a new MLB record. The Seidler family announced it would sell the team last year, following the death of former owner Peter Seidler in 2023.
I'm Amna Navaz. Tonight on the NewsHour, the 60-day window to reach a deal to end the Iran war expires. A look at what could come next. That's coming up at 7 after Evening Edition on KPBS.
President Donald Trump delivered a fresh threat to Oman over the Strait of Hormuz. It comes as the U.S. and Iran traded new jabs over the war. This all amid signs the conflict is spreading in the Middle East. Maddie Gannon has the latest from the White House.
The official lapse of the Memorandum of Understanding between the U.S. and Iran is kicking off a new week as both sides appear no closer to a deal. President Donald Trump started the day issuing a new warning to Oman. He told Fox News that the U.S. would bomb the U.S. ally if it gets in the way of its efforts with the Strait of Hormuz. Iran and Oman have been in talks over a temporary route for shipping through the strait, although Iran is insisting that any potential agreement between the two would not mean that the strait is immediately reopened for all. On Monday, Iran said its talks with Oman are continuing but are complex. And it follows Trump causing a stir Friday when he said he would declare the strait a U.S. territory after, quote, we finish defeating Iran. Iran quickly pushed back on that, saying the strait cannot be seized with a tweet or a campaign speech. And over the weekend, we heard from Iran's foreign minister saying that Iran hasn't decided yet whether to resume negotiations with the U.S. at all. It comes as we are hearing conflicting messages from the Trump administration about the U.S.'s top priority in this conflict more generally. Trump Monday insisted that the #1 goal is to ensure Iran cannot obtain a nuclear weapon. But that was after Vice President J.D. Vance said the top priority was keeping oil and gas prices low for Americans. Meanwhile, we are seeing signs of the conflict escalating in other areas in the region. Yemen and the Iranian-backed Houthis are both claiming to have carried out new attacks against one another over the last few days. And Israel launched fresh deadly strikes in southern Lebanon and what it said was a response to a Hezbollah attack that injured 3 of its soldiers. At the White House, I'm Maddie Gannon.
Have you heard of flock cameras? KPBS reported on them in the past. They're something you may pass by every day without even realizing it. They scan license plates, which police say helps solve crimes, but privacy advocates warn of unwanted surveillance and misuse. Michael Yoshida has more on the new safety controls the company behind the cameras is rolling out.
License plate reading technology is now in communities across the country, and while on the surface they may seem like a good tool for law enforcement, critics are raising concerns about misuse, including allegations of stalking in some cases, and that's fueling a big debate about public safety, privacy, and oversight.
There are reportedly more than 120,000 license plate reading flock safety cameras deployed across 49 states, used by more than 5,000 law enforcement agencies. They scan passing vehicles, capturing license plates and other details that are stored in a searchable database. If a plate is connected to a wanted vehicle, stolen car, or investigation, police get an alert. The technology notably helped track down last year's Brown University shooting suspect. Flock says it supported about 1 million law enforcement investigations last year and helped locate more than 10,000 missing people. But critics warn of a growing surveillance network, one they say invades privacy, triggers false alerts, and operates without enough oversight.
Where is the line where it stops being for solving crime and starts violating individual privacy?
The nonprofit Institute for Justice says dozens of officers in recent years have resigned or been arrested after allegedly abusing license plate reader systems, including accusations of stalking.
By using a private company, it allows a lot of the police departments to circumvent the normal red tape, like getting a warrant.
Flock has rolled out new safety controls, including tools for flagging unusual searches.
We have an obligation to make everyone feel safe. We've built a tool that demands accountability and transparency.
Safeguards. Privacy experts say don't go far enough. Some want cameras removed altogether. Others are calling for stronger rules, transparency, and accountability from leaders.
Like any tool in a police department's arsenal, we need guardrails.
And Flock Safety isn't the only company in this space. Axon and other companies provide similar technology. So while Flock's getting all the attention right now, the big question here, it's much broader than just one company. It's really all about how do communities balance public safety, privacy, and surveillance, and who at the end of the day gets to decide what level of monitoring people are comfortable with. In Washington, I'm Michael Yoshida.
Automated license plate readers are getting a lot of attention these days, including here in San Diego. Currently, there are 500 ALPRs in the city. Local community groups are joining in a national week of action against the technology. One advocate stopped by KPBS Midday Edition to discuss the movement. You can listen to that interview right now, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Home prices keep going up in San Diego County despite a decline in sales last month. And according to figures released by the California Association of Realtors today, the median price of an existing single-family home rose to just under $110 in July. That's up 1.3% from June and up nearly 6% from July of 2025. Meanwhile, sales in San Diego County fell 6.7% from June. And high prices, high mortgage rates, and low inventory may be turning away potential home buyers, but it's not all bad news. Jen Sullivan explains why potential buyers may be in a better position to find a deal this fall.
High prices and high mortgage rates are slowing home sales. The median home sale price last month was just over $434,000, according to the National Association of Realtors, and those numbers just keep going up.
Rising rates are not helping, so it's holding back some buyer activity.
Lawrence Yoon with the NAR says the war with Iran is driving up mortgage rates. That's because when oil prices rise, investors worry about inflation, and the bond market looks at all those financial pressures to determine rates. As of last week, the average 30-year fixed-rate mortgage was 6.69%, according to Freddie Mac. The week of February 26th, the average was 5.98%, and that was right before U.S. and Israeli forces launched strikes on Iran.
If somehow there is a resolution on the Persian Gulf oil tanker shipment, oil prices do come down, then expect lower inflationary pressure, and the Federal Reserve may be inclined to cut interest rate in the future.
Yoon says the current housing market can be particularly challenging for people looking to buy their first home. He says potential buyers should instead look at buying a condo instead of a single-family home.
Prices have actually declined and with more inventory, and therefore for first-time buyers, condominium, more affordable homes, more options.
There is some good news for potential buyers. Yoon says sellers whose homes have sat on the market will be forced to drop the price. And there are fewer people looking to buy as summer winds down, which means less competition for buyers. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Lake Mead, which is the largest reservoir in the United States, is drying up. And as a result, the water supply for millions of people in California and 6 other states are now at risk. Bill Weir reports.
For the boaters who still love Lake Mead, reminders of the mega drought are all around. The bathtub ring, which shows the high water mark from the mid-'80s, is now almost 19 stories tall. Old sunken boats and worthless drinking water intakes get more exposed by the day.
They couldn't imagine when they built this the kind of mega drought that would drop Lake Mead by 70%. That used to be the water intake tower.
A satellite time-lapse shows how much of the nation's biggest reservoir has disappeared in the last 25 years. Mead 27% full, while Lake Powell only 23% and dropping. Together, they keep 40 million people alive in 7 states, which have never agreed on how to share. While the dry lower basin states of California, Nevada, and Arizona have volunteered to make cuts, Doug Burgum's Interior Department could force much steeper ones, especially to junior rights holder Arizona, where water is needed to make everything from copper to microchips to most of the nation's winter vegetables.
I would argue that all of those things are not just important to Arizona's economy, they're important to the national economy.
And Governor Katie Hobbs seems willing to fight for their share all the way to the Supreme Court.
We are very hopeful that it will align closely with the proposal that we put forward, the 3 lower basin state proposal. And nobody wants to end up in court, but this is a critical situation for Arizona, and I'm going to use every tool available to me. We have set aside millions of dollars to fight in court. If that becomes necessary, I hope it doesn't, but we're not at that point yet.
Utah is among the upper basin states refusing to offer new cuts, even as St. George has some of the cheapest water and highest per capita use in the West. And that's not even counting this private surf ranch with wave and wakeboarding pools for 56 homes and another similar development under construction.
You can surf in the driest county in Utah. How can you justify that? Whether they're pulling it out of a brackish aquifer or it's private water, how is that a good look for Washington County?
So unfortunately, like other communities, certain things were approved years and years and years ago, and we're kind of dealing with those. Since then, we have completely changed all our rules. But not just a surf lake, but a data center or a golf course. We've implemented this very strict policy now of large water users.
Zach Renstrom is trying to get his very conservative county to copy Las Vegas, where nearly every drop of Sin City's wastewater is captured, cleaned, and put back into Lake Mead, thanks to the foresight of leaders like Pat Mulroy.
I mean, the minute you accepted climate change as a reality, you had to accept that this day was coming. And if you're in the water business, you hope for the best and plan for the worst.
She thinks Burgum should be using more carrots and sticks to get the states to agree, and proposes desalination plants in California for irrigation, so farmers could give their shares to thirsty cities and wildlife habitats.
To put the states through the pain and anguish of having to go through another round of cut discussions, I would put that off. But where I would put my energy is I would put the states together and empower a body or a group in the lower basin and upper basin to look at ways to augment this river system. I mean, we have stayed away from desalination, and it blows my mind. You can't conserve your way out of this. You can't cut your way out of it.
Well, as we head through the week, high pressure is going to start to shift right back into the southwestern U.S., which means our temperatures warming back up. Here's the thing, though. We get drier. It helps with the marine layer. It'll be a little shallower. We do have some rain chances as we head into the end of the week and into the weekend for our mountain and desert regions. But overall, we lower the humidity. We have less moisture in the air, but our temperatures go up, so it's a trade-off. Overall tonight, low 80s for Borrego Springs, mid 60s from Mount Laguna, Similar situation in Oceanside, and just a few degrees higher in San Diego and Chula Vista there. As we head into tomorrow, well, take a look. More clouds still sticking with us because remember, this is mid to late in the week when that high pressure really shifts in. So we still have the moisture. We still have some of that humidity with us. And in Borrego Springs, temperatures back to 110. It's just going to get worse from here. Mid-90s for Ramona. We're in the 80s in Oceanside and just under the 80s in San Diego and Chula Vista with that 78 and 79. As we take a look at the next 5 days along the coast, here's what we're working with. There's those temperatures rising a bit as we head into Thursday, Friday, and into Saturday. Still have the humidity sticking with us here, and it's partly because of exactly where that high pressure is and how much of an influence it has further to the coast versus further inland. So as we look at our temperatures for our inland regions, not a lot of variation here. We're in the low 90s. We actually even drop a little bit as we head into Saturday. As we look to our mountain regions, well, here we go. Temperatures 80s. We get to the 70s by the time we get to Thursday, Friday, and then heat right up 75 Friday versus that 83 by the time we get to Saturday. And this is where late into the week, it's not enough to trigger the icons, but just know we could see a few showers. We'll keep you updated on this as we go through the next couple of days. As we get to our desert region, it's just 110 for your Tuesday, and then we go back down. But again, that Friday to Saturday shift, 103 to 107, you'll probably notice the difference there, and it's a little bit of a roller coaster. But the August heat, well, it's here in full force, that's for sure. For KPBS News, I'm AccuWeather's Anna Azalian.
Make sure to get the latest from KPBS delivered right into your inbox. We have a variety of newsletters, and that includes the daily headlines, KPBS Arts, streaming picks, and our North County focus. Just go to kpbs.org and look for the newsletter section at the top of the screen, and from there you can sign up with your email address. A San Diego collective is creating space for people to connect through music. KPBS Arts reporter Audie McAfee takes us to Future is Color's listening room.
Aladrian Goods is the host of The Listening Room, a gathering created by the local collective Future is Color. The Listening Room is a space dedicated to the practice of deep listening, using vinyl as a starting point.
We're really intentional about framing the conversation to a theme that is connected to collective liberation in a way that gives people the experience of feeling a little more free in their day-to-day, but also feeling more connected to the community here in San Diego.
Future is Color was founded by Erwin Hines after George Floyd's murder, when he began thinking more deeply about how people view themselves and their place in the world. This inspired him to create clothing with messages tied to liberation.
Future is Color quite literally is a reflection of my growth and my healing and my uncovering and deep diving into the lineage of liberation work that Black folk have been doing since the founding of this country.
Future is Color has evolved into multiple events for connection, like the Listening Room. Each year there's a different focus. This year, the theme is being together is the practice.
And then the music element was just based on the fact that music is one of the things throughout every single liberation movement that was always there. It wasn't just background noise or background music, but it was quite literally a foundational element to every single revolutionary movement.
The Listening Room is different from other events because it's not just about the music.
I think the opportunity we have here is to think about the context in which this record was created, think about the themes the artists were exploring in their own work, and then connect it to the larger overarching theme that Future is Color has.
Each Listening Room is limited to 30 to 40 people in its usual space in Barrio Logan, next to Chicano Park.
So I think if I can champion listening, even in a 3-hour a week or every 2 weeks space, then hopefully that trickles out and inspires more people to be more intentional about how they listen and connect with each other.
While hosting the event, Goods prioritizes people's experience.
I also try to role model the vulnerability and take out the levity of trying to know the chord progressions or trying to critique the music and understand it in such a technical way, where this conversation is more human and nuanced. And I think anyone who brings their story is a great contribution to the Listening Room.
Some people leave the listening room with questions that don't come till days later. Goods created a journal to give them a place to keep exploring the music and perhaps create their own listening room.
All the intention we put into holding this space on Tuesday nights, we put into the journal as well. So it allows us to scale beyond like Barrio Logan into the world.
For Goods, the listening room is also a tribute to her grandparents, who both loved music.
I end every listening room with a quote that my grandmother used to say is, "Thanks for your time. That's all of my time."
Audie McAfee, KPBS News.
So nice. And here's a look at what we're working on for tomorrow in the KPBS newsroom. Nearly 7.5 million Americans live with dementia. That number is expected to climb in the coming decades. On NPR's Morning Edition, one couple is on a mission to bring more dementia care to medical deserts. And mark your calendars, the San Diego Festival of Books is now less than a week away. Join KPBS this Saturday, August 22nd, at the University of San Diego. And the QR code that you see on your screen leads to all of the details and an RSVP form. We'll have special panels, vendors, and our picks for the next cycle of One Book, One San Diego. Find tonight's stories on our website, kpbs.org. Thanks for joining us. I'm Maya Tripolsi. Enjoy your evening.
Major funding for KPBS Evening Edition has been made possible in part by Bill Howe Family of Companies, providing San Diego with plumbing, heating, air, restoration, and flood services for over 45 years. Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE or visit billhowe.com. And by the Conrad Previs Foundation, Darlene Marcos Shiley, and by the following: and by viewers like you. Thank you.